watching a master at work.
Expelled from our Silver Ninja Empire.
What have they done, Master?
A ninja must learn to face all difficulties in life and pass through all hard times.
Master, you did right. They should be banished.
I have also removed their ninjutsu, but since they have been born a ninja, they die a ninja.
This is the story of the One. As a lineman, it's his job to keep the power on. That's why he chooses Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call, click, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's up, chat? What's going on? Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you're new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Make sure you read what's on the screen before we get into it on this beautiful Wednesday, November 5th. It is Wednesday, right? Wednesday, November 5th, I think. Thursday? Wednesday? I think Wednesday. Gonna have to double check that. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. 99% sure it's Wednesday. I don't know, man. Day of the week. We're trading, right? I'm focused on what's going on in the charts, okay? Trading's risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all, here or anywhere else. I'm just an idiot yapping on YouTube, kicking X for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Make your own decisions on everything. Also read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like code RDF, Top 1 Futures, Bookmap, and others. Let's hop into it, guys. What's up, chat? What's up? Good morning, Mark, four-footed. Let's go from the bottom up. Good morning, Dr. FP. Good morning, Chuck. What's going on, guys? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Stack of bananas. What's going on? Relaxing Zen. Welcome back to the show, man. Wolf. The Wolf, what's happening? Good morning. Hello, everybody. Glenn B, what's happening? Relaxing Zen, number 1 on the comment there. What's going on, chat? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, man. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Happy to have everybody here. I'm grateful every dang day that I wake up and we have a badass community pinned to the top of this chat if you want to hop in with over 2,000 members sharing their journey. Well before I'm up, we got the boys on the other side of the world, trading Asia, trading London, calling out what's working for them, what's not working for them. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys hopping on. And more people here every damn day on the live, man. It's sick. Concurrent viewers across streams. I get the report every day. It's growing steadily. We bounce back and forth. But well over 100 now. It's insane, man. I used to have to stream to myself, literally my own phone. I had to check if I was actually live because there were 0 viewers. Not like 1 or 2, like 0. And then I would click on my own stream and then it would say 1 viewer. Sad, bro. We come a long way. All right, let's hop onto the charts, man. We're here a little bit early, a little ahead of the start time. It's 9:13 a.m. Eastern as we're 7 minutes into this stream already. Let's take a look at YM. This is Top 1 Futures. If you don't know, this is a prop firm, an instant funding prop firm with no challenge, no activation, no time limit, no nothing, straight into a funded account. I'll throw the link in chat, and I'll continue reading, talking to you guys. Code RDF for the best deal. There's the link if you want to check it out right there. The account that I'm in right here, what you're looking at, is a 15K pre-live account, what they call a pre-live account. This is the account that you get moved into after you've traded well enough to their, their standards, and that's subjective to them. But after an instant funded account or an eval account, you take enough payouts, you trade well enough, you run up a big balance, you do one of a combination of these things, and they say, you're trading good, or you're a liability, either way you want to look at it, and they kick you to a live account. Same at almost all prop firms. Not all. Some are just straight up bucket shop garbage, garbage pails. But we won't go into that conversation. But that's what we're looking at here. This is the Project X platform. This is available from multiple different prop firms and I think soon to be live accounts. But this is a trading view chart integrated, and the platform itself is Project X. That's what we're looking at. I think it's always important to lay that stuff out in the beginning. So, ended up green yesterday. Green this week, man. Got a little bit of a streak rolling. We're running pretty solid in this account. Green yesterday on that trade from the live session. If you guys missed it, I got short in here. Let me actually frame yesterday's trade since we got time. Let me pull up exactly the numbers from yesterday. Yeah, man. Only thing I could have done, like I've talked about, is hold it longer. It was fun yesterday because I had some people on the stream saying, ADL King, where are you at, my man? Saying, don't get short, don't short, Zach, no. And it's not like you get excited when you prove someone wrong or something happens, you know, that stop loss was somewhere in here. What was it? I think I had like 90, something like somewhere around here. So here was the actual trade from yesterday. But no, it was it's always fun when, you know, people are calling out, do XYZ, don't do XYZ. So many different things can happen in these markets, man. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. And you can't make money with anybody else's style or entries or trade management telling them what to do, right? Like, you could have longed exactly where I got short, and maybe you scalp pops to the upside and you trade with, 10 minis, and you made, you made thousands of dollars, right? Maybe you scalped, breaks back up to the upside in here when I was short, right? There's so many different ways to skin this cat, man. But here was my trade from yesterday. To the downside, like I said, only thing I didn't do was hold it a little bit longer than I could have. Did hold for a breakthrough VWAP, and I got out somewhere in here for 800 and some odd bucks. What was the actual number? Here was the screenshot from yesterday, 832. Could have squeezed a little bit more out of this one. Could have been a little over $1,000 winner, but I would have been holding through this chop back and forth, and then we did pop almost all the way back up to entry after into the close, all the way into the close. So I'm facing an interesting challenge just personally. I think it's always good to talk about this stuff, right? Some Pam from Discord said it sounds like I'm in the inside, listening to the inside of my head. What did she say? Literally getting the inside of your head. Yeah, talking through all this stuff. I run into an interesting challenge where I'm patient. I take my time off the open with you guys, right? I hop into a trade that I'm going to hold for a long time. But these are often, I'm not trading sim accounts anymore, right? Live account or a pre-live account, my own personal live account. And I get real cautious and uncomfortable just completely walking away, and in some instances not even having access to watch my phone or to catch an alert. Like, maybe I'm on a meeting for, an hour, or I'm doing a podcast or an interview or something. And it's like, I'm not even going to be able to stop in the middle of it for the next hour plus. And it gets a little bit dicey. It gets a little bit dicey to want to leave a trade on when we are in these headline markets, where if Trump says China tariffs or anything, we could be in for a rocket or a dump. I don't love to run fixed take profits. If I step away, I do. Sometimes if I step away, I'll go stop loss to break even. But I've been making the executive decision on a lot of these to just close it out so I can fully focus on what else I'm focusing on. But that's a challenge. We face that as traders, right? How are you going to handle if you have a trade on and you have to step away? Are you just going to set it and forget it? Are you comfortable with that? Are you going to take risk off and go stop loss to break even and then throw a take profit in? Are you going to adjust because you can't manage anymore? You're taking yourself out of the equation. So it's been interesting. But overall, not a bad entry. Pretty aggressive. Yesterday, I was looking for the 375s. I could have got the 375s, but I didn't. I was somewhere below, right in here. I think this was the actual entry. But nice trade that played out to the downside, right? Reversion back to VWAP, reversion back down towards not current volume point of control, but all the way over here. Some tops that we've been putting in back below the prior day Monday's low. So worked out nicely. Overall, doesn't always work out, right? But that was the reasoning behind the trade. Played out nicely, and it was kind of this frustrating day, right? Like, this is what I was anticipating happening. Just to talk about this, I think was a tough one, right? We broke to the downside, and if I get off the 15-minute, like, this looked really good to the downside, like right into the open. Like, gun to my head here, I'm like, oh, dude, we sold off all night. We sold off yesterday. We are down below yesterday's low, opening up to the downside. We already traded very bearish, almost 300 points to the downside. Now we're dumping down towards that low. This looks like a break and run, right? Like, tops in, here we go. What do? We fake out, right? We come all the way back through VWAP, and we fake out the other way. We trade, we trade from the low almost 400 points to the upside. That looks good to the upside, right? We're back through VWAP. Bulls are in town. Multiple consecutive bullish bars. We didn't sweep the pre-market overnight low right down here, but we got really close. We faked everybody out. That looks good to the upside. And I was anticipating that to not follow through either, and to really catch, trap sellers here and then trap buyers here. And then hopefully trade all the way back down. But, wasn't that huge type of day. It was just a reversion back towards VWAP, some chop. Pop at the open, pop at the close, right? So anyway, that was yesterday. Pretty choppy, right? We didn't put the high or the low of the day in NYSE session, which is not all too common. And then overnight, we got a really small inside bar here, right? Just choppy back and forth. I do think NQ and ES had some selling pressure. I saw some people commenting on that. We could take a look at that. Yeah, NQ NQ sold off pretty aggressively and now has since come all the way back up towards prior day low. ES is the same thing. We can take a look at the chart in a minute, but focusing on, change this song up. This is a little bit much here. Focusing on the overnight session as we're getting ready to come into the open. Glad I hopped on a little bit early so we could talk a little bit about yesterday. As we are coming into this session, right? And one thing I did yesterday that I really enjoyed doing was look at the daily, and I want to do that. I want to do that more. Made a note for myself on my little journal this morning to keep an eye on the daily. I think the daily price action is obviously very, very high weight for these markets. It's very high time frame, and I like to look at that. I like to keep a really zoomed out view when I'm getting really zoomed in. That context. So inside bar, right, from yesterday's range, pretty small so far, nothing too crazy. Slightly bearish, but a little bit of a doji formation, right? 250 points. What is the actual here? The high and the low. Actually, can I use my... I was interested to see this. Does this work on Project X? Oh, yeah, perfect. You can use the magnet tool and then the measurement tool. I know you could use the magnet tool with everything else, but you could also use it with the measurement tool to get exact highs and lows, right? So what this does, just so I could show you guys again, just as just a, a technical piece of this platform. If you throw this magnet tool on, and you could actually designate strong magnet or weak magnet, but if you throw this magnet tool on, whatever tool you're using is going to snap to a high or a low or a body close, a daily candle or whatever candle you're on, right? So this is snapping to the low of today's candle. And then as you can see, as I get kind of close, it snaps to the high of that candle, and I can get an exact number, right? I don't have to guess, 255. Let's say I wanted to see the high of this candle to yesterday's body, right? The low end of this body. You could do that. See where it snaps to the body there? It also snaps to the wick, top of the wick. Anyway, not to get too distracted here. I digress. Pretty tight candle forming so far. Inside, we are chopping around VWAP, chopping around, volume point of control. We came up, we tested value area high, we tested value area low, and we've really stayed within that profile from yesterday, right? As we get a little bit more granular here, overnight session. Choppy back and forth. Overall, this is pretty tight, right? Relative to the price action market structure that we've been seeing. We have kind of cooled off a little bit from this, right? This was the week that, we sold off super aggressively right here as we started talking about China tariffs. This was pretty gnarly, right? These are very big movements. We're talking large point and tick movements here on Dow. We kind of maintained some of that volatility, but we started to calm down just a little bit. Which I think is worth noting. I don't need to use an ATR. I don't know if I have one on this chart. No, I don't. Sometimes I run an ATR down on the bottom. I think that could be helpful, an average true range. But you want to get a feel for, what are we doing for volatility, right? How much are we moving throughout the day? What do these candles printing look like? And, do you need to adjust your position sizing, right? Do I need to size up? Do I need to size down? Do I need to go to micros? It's important to note as a trader. So overall, analysis here, finishing this up. Pretty unbiased, right? Lower time frame, we're chopping around VWAP. Inside bar, we've tested value area high and low, opening up pretty balanced at VWAP. We could go to run the low, we could go to run the high. This is a pretty easy setup for me on a sweep of prior day high or prior day low. For a reversion play back to VWAP, that's what I would be looking for right off of the open. If we pop to the upside, I like above prior day high right into this volume point of control from Monday, right? It's also the low end of all of this structure. It's another volume point of control. You can see it on the visible range volume profile. So I that's a little bit above prior day high. I'd be looking to get potentially involved up there. Nice round psychological number as well. 47,500s, right? For a reversion play. If we drive right to the upside. We sell off down below. I'm going to say pretty similarly, maybe 40, 50 points below yesterday's low, below overnight session lows, right down into this area for a similar play, right? Reversion back up. If I don't catch one of those off the open, we chop around, maybe a continuation play sets up. A continuation play when we are not crazy extended into the open, for me, I just find myself in those more. So a little bit higher chance of that happening today. We'll have to find out. But overall, a little bit higher time frame than that. little bit higher time frame than that. Pushing to the upside, right? Overall, very, very strong market. This bull market has just not given up. We've started to get some, some little topping action here. A little bit of a pullback. Is it just going to be a pullback, right? We did this yesterday. Is it just going to be a pullback for this beautiful trend to continue to the upside? That'd be completely normal. We go and, have a big bullish day. One of these days, we get right back to highs. We blast through all-time highs on the U.S. indices. That'd be completely fine. We could start to sell off from here, right? We can get a little bit lower. We can really start to come down below lows. If we started to sell off super aggressively, looking at this from a higher time frame perspective, these lows over here all the way down into the 46,500s would be a key level to watch. We started to get below that. Do we come down here and break these lows, right? You start looking left. But higher time frame, still very, very bullish overall. Moderate time frame, right? Coming off of the end of last month, we've sold off a bit, right? Objectively, we have sold off a bit. Similar in ES, right? We are not just putting, bullish day over bullish day. We've got some breaks of lows and continuation without coming back down to coming back up to break highs. And same on NQ, right? Does that mean all of a sudden bears are in town, bearish market, we're pushing to the downside? No, but you want to use that as context. Are we blasting higher every single day, just breaking prior bar highs without pulling back? Are we straight chopping? We're just putting multiple inside bars in, or just back and forth test of highs? Are we starting to sell off a little bit? Where are we at from a higher time frame view? That's at least what, the way I like to look at this. Couple minutes to the open, guys. Last thing I want to check again, which I really have fell off doing because of the government shutdown with no news. Last thing I'm checking is news. Taking a look at forexfactory.com with you guys right here, my preferred financial news site. We have ADP non-farm. That was 8:15 this morning. We do have a 10 a.m. ISM Manufacturing Services PMI. That's a problem. I hate the 10 a.m. red folder news. I don't enjoy trading through news. And then 1 p.m. we have President Trump talking. 1 p.m. we have President Trump talking. So we're going to have to see that later on into the day. That could be a little bit dicey. He has been he's down in Miami. He has been a wild market mover, man, this year for really since taking office. So we're gonna have to watch that. Tomorrow, just looking at the rest of the week, outlook. A lot of FOMC members, but nothing crazy. Looks like they got member Waller speaking as a medium impact, and then we do have NFP Friday. Taking a quick look at another site just to double check. I like Financial Juice as well. If you guys want to see another site just to get another feel for another financial news site, I like Financial Juice as well, just to kind of double check and make sure. What Financial Juice is really good at is when things start to pump or dump really quickly, you could come in and take a look at what it was. It is delayed. There's a subscription. I don't pay for Financial Juice. I just don't care that much. As you can see, you could subscribe to it. I talked about maybe trying out some different squawk, like real-time news pumped into headphones, but I've taken myself off that for now. Chat, what's up? Oh, who the hell sent money? I gotta turn this back off, man. I gotta turn this back off, guys. You don't have to send anything. I don't know what NGN is, but thank you for contributing whatever you contributed there. You get priority on that question. 2K drawdown unfunded. What's your risk to buffer? Depends, my brother. NYSE session opening up right here, guys. Just real quick before we talk about this God's battle. And again, thank you for contributing. If you sub or you send anything, it's cool, man. But you don't have to do that. We're free 99 over here. Short to the upside above prior day high. I'd be looking right into the, let's say, 47 500s. To the downside, I'd be looking down here. Like I said, where is it going to load up? Yeah, right into the 930s, 940s. No. I don't. What's up, guys? Fast Money Formula, Deal King, Pam. What's happening? Blue Water, Kim. What's going on? Rhombus, Wolf, Homat. What's happening? Yeah, NGN. I don't know what NGN is, but guys, to answer the question, God's battle. 2K drawdown unfunded. What's your risk to buffer? Right. Here's the question you have to ask yourself. Two big things that I would break this into. Number one, what are you doing with this account? Do you want to be aggressive and work yourself towards a payout quickly and risking higher loss, right? Risking ruin. Have you taken payouts before? What does your capital look like, right? These are the things that you have to come into play first, bigger picture. If you say, no, I want to hold on to this account, I don't want to lose it, I want to treat it like a live account, you're going to size according to your win rate and risk to reward. That's how you custom tailor risk management. Risk per day, risk per trade, total trades per day based on your win rate and risk to reward, okay? You can even use an equity simulator, trading equity simulator based on these numbers. Let's break this down a little bit quicker, right? Maybe you say, hey, Zach, I don't want to lose this account, right? $2,000 drawdown. I run, a 1.25 to 1 on average risk to reward, or that's what is coming up for me when I look at my stats. And I run about, a 50% win rate, a 55% win rate, something like that, right? You can plug that number into a trading equity simulator, which we could do in a minute because the market's opened up right now. I don't want to come off this, but we can look at this together in a minute and I can really break this down. But you want to look at if I'm risking, for example, whatever I'm risking, and I take 2 trades per day, how many losses in a row do I need to be able to withstand? What's a normal amount of losses for my win rate? And will I be able to handle taking those losses with the $2,000 buffer based on what I'm risking? Maybe you say, a reasonable amount of losses for you is 5, right? Okay, if you're trading with a 50-50 win rate, that's probably reasonable. You probably want to allow for 10 losses. You probably want to double that number. That's probably a reasonable number. What would that be? Risk per day? $200, right? $200 risk per day. Maybe you break that down into $100 risk per trade. This is very conservative relative to what most people do, but if you don't want to lose the account, if you actually want to hold on to it, that's how reasonable, that's how low you have to be with it, right? $2,000 account size, you're really risking 10% at $200 per day, right? A little bit less than $100 per trade. Maybe you say the opposite here, which is where most people are. I want to work quickly towards a payout, right? I'm comfortable losing, some accounts in the long run, not burning through them, not churning and burning, not sim farming, but I know that I'm going to lose accounts taking on, a certain level of risk, right? How aggressive you get depends on how much risk you're willing to take on, how many accounts you're willing to lose, how much capital you have to trade overall. Maybe at that point, it's $500 risk per trade. Maybe it's really aggressive and it's $1,000 and you're per day. And $500 per trade. Maybe it's $250, $500 per day, right? It comes down to a combination, and nobody that's telling you exactly what to do with these little charts that they make up has any right to do that at all. The only thing we can really get technical with is if you say, hey, dude, I have a live account or I have one prop firm account and I have a rough idea of my win rate, risk to reward, and total trades that I want to give myself per day before I'm done. You can plug that into a trading equity simulator, and you can look at if you're accurate with your win rate and risk to reward, which we know is never going to be exact, but you could be a little bit conservative. You could see what that equity curve looks like, right? What do the worst losing streaks look like? Are you comfortable with that, right? What does your profit look like over the next 100 trades, 100 iterations, right? Is that enough for you, or are you so conservative that you're hardly making any progress, right? And then you can custom tailor for there. We'll do that today, guys. If you hang out, we'll do that today. We'll look at a trading equity curve simulator, free. I don't have one or anything. I think MarketWatch has it, but we'll look at that today. What most traders are doing with prop firms, almost all, including myself in the sim environment, we're really taking on more risk than that account can handle based on our edge in the market, right? Which is pretty modest for most people. Our win rate and risk to reward is going to be whatever it is over a large sample size. And if we're taking on, $1,000 risk per trade on a sim account that has a $4,500 max loss limit, right? It's a $4,500 account. We're going to lose that account eventually. We're, outside of anybody with a really, really, really high win rate, you're going to lose the account taking on 25%, loss in any one trade or one day, right? You're essentially saying, I'm going to forgo this because I know over the next 3 accounts, right, I'm going to work myself towards larger and faster payouts, right? Or maybe you need to build a buffer. I wrote up a long post about this yesterday on Twitter, talking about, the differences between prop trading and live trading, and the risk management, the habits, the style that we develop here on prop. But we're essentially flipping accounts. We are account flippers. And to the outside, this is degenerate, gambling. It's very high risk, right? In a live account, you often hear how much percent should you risk in a live account? 1%, 2%, right? 5% on the high end. What would that be in an account that you're trading? What's 1% of $2,000? That's your max loss limit, right? So, it's different. It's different. It's not to say that there's a right or wrong way to do it, but you have to ask yourself big picture questions first, right? What does my total trading capital look like? How much money do I have to invest in trading? And is that growing? Is it diminishing? Is it fixed? And then how much do I want to invest in, this month and this week of trading? You break those numbers down. That might dictate how you need to treat that account. If you have $500 trading capital, maybe you're going to get 2 accounts, and you're not maybe going to have more. You're going to trade those really conservatively. You can't take on high risk, right? Maybe you have a lot of trading capital. You trade large size live accounts, more similarly to me. And you're comfortable in sim taking on more risk, potentially losing a couple accounts, per month or per week, how aggressive you're going to be without towing the line of just complete degenerate, gambling and sim farming on the way to faster and larger payouts, right? The guys on the leaderboards are not holding on to accounts. There's not a consistently profitable big prop firm trader that is not also consistently burning accounts, whether they share that information with you or not. But that's just kind of the facts of the matter here. Hope this helps. We'll be in the stream. Awesome. Yeah. The win rate, risk reward, total trades, I want to make those very valuable variables. Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Cook Smith. What's going on? ADL. That was the big rant. We answered a question. Somebody donated Nigerian dollars to the stream, and we're going to answer questions, whether you donate those or not. 10 a.m. Red Folder News. Please be careful. Yep. Good call, Wolf. That's coming up, guys, in about 20 minutes. Good morning. I'd say that Red Folder is pretty light. Rhombus asked if it's legit. I think it's going to be pretty light. Home at Design, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Purple Ninja, what's up, man? Moxie, what's up? Chart Prince, what's up? The good news. I purchased in a night. Here we go. We got another question. Guys, market's kind of just chopping a VWAP here. If you hopped on late, just so you know, I'm not just yapping and talking to the chat. Sitting a VWAP, nothing. Looking for this today. That's my interest for today. That's my initial trade. We do something different in here. We start to do this. Maybe I don't get in, right? Maybe we really trend to the upside. I look for something different. 10 a.m. news. I would prefer to get through that before I have a trade on, but I think we chop and then we probably crack to one of these areas during news. Maybe I take something aggressive. But we got 20 minutes for that. The good news, purchase an Ignite account. If I make $6,000 in profits, request $1,000, what happens to the remaining $5K? Do I need to trade another 10 days to request a payout? So, in the Ignite account, I don't know what size account you have, but you have a profit target, you have a max payout. If you hit the profit target, following all the rules, the consistency rules, and you take a payout, you don't have to trade for a minimum of 10 days, right? You don't have to trade for any minimum of a specific amount of days. You just have to meet the next profit target. You have to meet the profit target again, and the consistency rule again, right? That's what happens. So the profit that you have in the account remains there as buffer. The sim profit remains there as buffer, and you're up against putting up whatever the profit target is for the account size that you're trading, and meeting the consistency rule. But there's no minimum trading days on those Ignite accounts. That's the deal. This did in fact help. Awesome. Up $200 on one account, locked up, everything. I'm distracted with some work, so don't want to do anything. Yeah, no. Let's talk about that with somebody yesterday, man. Trading distracted, trading while you're working. Be cautious there. Not a whole lot of this market yet, guys. Sitting right at VWAP, but good conversation. Let's see if I can pull this up. Yeah, you want to, these are good questions, guys. You want to become a really good risk manager. You want to be able to understand roughly where you're going to be with win rate and risk to reward. And then you want to understand how much risk you're putting on per trade and per day. You should have you should have at least your max risk per day, max risk per trade, and your total trades per day absolutely hammered out. They should be very, very clear. If you don't have that number, the whole account is on the line, right? If you don't have a max risk per day, the whole account is the max risk per day, right? If you don't have a max risk per trade, maybe it's your risk per day is your stop out limit, but you're not being clear enough with your risk management, right? Traders can be dynamic with it. They can size based on opportunity. They can do a lot more stuff. But outside of the extremely experienced, already consistently, doing well, you really want, and even those, almost every single one has a max risk per day and a max risk per trade. If you're trading at any professional desk anywhere, any hedge fund, they all are going to have predefined risk limits. Every single one. They're good. There's going to be a check in there, right? You want to cap your downside, limit your downside, and leave your upside uncapped. Maybe you struggle with tilt and over trading and getting greedy. If you give back profit or something like that, you're also going to cap your upside with a personal daily profit target. But if you're here on prop firms or on Project X, you should be setting a personal daily loss limit and set it to liquidate and lock you out. There's no excuse to not do that. Literally not a single valid argument against that I've heard so far. But let me see if I can pull this up because it's cool to play with you guys. Yeah, I got one pulled up. This will be fun. This will be fun. Can I get one where it gives me the dollar amount? That would be great. Yeah, okay, this will be fine. This will be fine. All right. Market's starting to move a little bit, guys. I don't want to get too distracted, but I think this could be helpful. I really think this could be helpful. I'm gonna throw this in the chat. And again, guys, this is a little bit more advanced. I think most traders would just do well looking at, risk of ruin and, being comfortable with the worst case scenario and saying, I know after 4 days I'm toast, right? How many days minimum do you want to hold on to the account for? But if you want to get a little bit more advanced, you can use one of these, right? It's really not that advanced. Check this out. I'm not partnered. I'm not affiliated with this site. There's hella ads that pop up, so be careful. But the site's Market Bulls. I'm throwing it in chat right now, guys. This is a trading equity curve simulator. There's probably better ones out there than this, but here's the basics of this. Right? While I get rid of another ad over here. Watch bookmap on the side. Make sure we don't start to dump. Here's the basics of this, chat. And again, I'm not the risk management professional. I'm an idiot, right? But here was a couple tools that I've used in my journey, right? Here's some important metrics that we could throw in here. Win rate, right here is 50% win rate. A risk to reward, right? You can throw a 1 to 1, you can throw a 1.25, you can throw a 1 to 5 in, right? How much are you risking per trade? Maybe you're risking 2% per trade. And how much capital do you have, right? What's your starting capital? Let's say we, just for round numbers here. Yeah, we have a $100,000 account, right? For example. And, you know, we're going to risk, actually, should we do this with drawdown? Let me pull up some prop numbers. Hang on. Try to think about the way that I want to demonstrate this. Yeah, let's do it with drawdown, right? Yeah, this will show us. This will show us, right? So here's a good way to do this. Here's how I would do this if you're trading props, right? If you're trading a live account, it's really simple. What's your capital? How much are you risking per trade, right? You can think about this in a dollar amount. If we have a $2,000 starting max loss limit, right? I'm going to have to swap back over. If we have a $2,000 starting max loss limit, right? That's essentially your, your capital, right? You can't lose more than this before the account's dead. You could throw 20 trades in here. You could throw 50 trades in here. This is just for the simulation. But the numbers that are really important, your win rate, risk to reward, and how much you're risking per trade. And then what does that look like on a graph? Out of, however many iterations this thing is going to run, will you, I think it shows you like 10 random lines. Will you make money or lose money overall in general, right? And you can show, your average, your maximum drawdown, your max consecutive wins, max consecutive losses, which is also super important to look at. But what does your growth look like overall, right? And how likely are you to have, a random run of this, right? Where you hit an L, right? Where you blow the account, you completely lose the account. This right here, right, is your dollar amount and your number of trades. We're only running this for 20 trades, right? On a lot of these lines down here, you're getting close to halfway, killing the account. It's not showing any of them are hitting, right? But if you throw in maybe let's say you're a 60% win rate and you're like a 1.1 risk to reward, right? And you're still risking $200 per trade. What does that look like? Looks a little bit cleaner, right? It's pretty widespread here, right? Not a huge edge. Obviously, this cleans up really nicely if we throw like a 2-to-1 risk to reward or a higher win rate, right? A 65% win rate, really, really aggressive to the upside. You can see how much some of these lines are climbing. Maybe you're really modest. You're like, I'm like a 1, I'm averaging just a little bit bigger on my wins, and I'm averaging winning just a little bit more when I'm averaging winning a little bit more of my trades, and I'm, maybe around a 1.2 on average, right? We're taking out, break evens and stuff like that. What does that look like, right? And maybe you mess with this number. You say, hey, I want to risk $500 per trade with a $2,000 account. You're going to end up killing a lot of accounts. Look at all of the accounts down here that got absolutely smoked, right? You get some of them that are going to run to the moon, as we watch YM continue to push up. You got some of them that are going to run to the moon, right, where you really hit a nice streak of W's, but you're going to get a lot of that are going to absolutely blow. You are very clearly going to blow accounts risking that much, right? So some of these numbers can help you, I think. I think taking a look at this stuff can help you. One thing that's really important to look at over here, guys, I think really important to look at. Let's throw 50 on here. You're going to see something crazy. If you look at whatever your win rate is, maybe you're operating with a 2-to-1 win rate, right? And you have a 40%, a 2-to-1 risk reward and a 40% win rate, right? And you're risking way too much per trade, so we got to knock that down. You're going to risk 5% per trade, and that's showing very profitable, right? Your result over 50 trades is very, very nice. Starting balance, ending balance, great. Nice percent to the upside, right? Nothing crazy for prop firms, but looking at this. Look at your max consecutive wins and losses. Here's a really important thing to take a look at. This is just separate from creating a risk management plan. Look at how many losses you are likely to take, right? And we can run this multiple times. Look at this number over here, guys, with a 40% win rate. You got to be ready to take a string of losses, even with a high win rate. Let's go the opposite. Let's say you have, a 65% win rate. And over the next 100 trades, you want to see, worst case scenario out of any one of these. What's the worst case scenario? On the lowest end, 3. even with a 65% win rate. On the lowest end, 3. Many of them are higher than that. 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Are you comfortable, whatever you're risking, right? And are you comfortable with your edge and your confidence level as a whole to take on 3, 4, 5 consecutive losing trades, trading perfectly, right? This does not take into account mistakes or anything. This is your solid 65% win rate and your 2-to-1 risk to reward. Having that number in the back of your head, recognizing that it's going to be really, I'm watching this thing pop to the upside, recognizing that it's going to be really normal for someone like me personally to go on a gnarly losing streak where I take 5, 6, 7 L's right to the face, doing everything that I'm supposed to do. My edge is still there, and over 100 trades, I'm still going to come out profitable, right? If I had everything perfect and if I knew my exact win rate and risk to reward, which it's always varying a little bit, I got to be ready to take those L's. Am I ready to take that mentally? And the risk per trade that I'm putting on, is my account going to survive, right? Am I going to dig a hole that's way too big? What does this look like for the risk per trade that I'm putting on? That's more basic, but I think that could be a starting point for you guys. If you have a $2,000 account and you're risking $500 per trade, outside of, you having an 80 or 90% win rate, which almost nobody does consistently without a super negative risk reward, you're going to lose the account. You're eventually going to lose that account, right? You will have iterations starting from scratch where you kill that account. You comfortable with that? No? Slow it down, size it down. A lot of what we do, and how likely are you to blow the accounts, right? You can kind of go there with it. But a lot of what we do in prop firms is putting on too much risk, right? Way more than the account can handle, to work towards payouts quickly, right? To work towards passing evals. You really have to flip accounts to get this done. You're going to lose accounts to get that done, right? If you don't want to lose accounts, slow down, size down. You want to get to larger payouts. You want $10,000 in profit. You want to put up really big buffers quickly, because you could do it slowly, but quickly, you're going to kill accounts. You're going to lose them, right? How many, are you comfortable with? And what is going to be way too much where you risk being looked at as a sim farmer, churner and burner, where you're running through accounts, especially with copy trading? You have to be cautious, doing that, right? And again, starting out, because so many traders are beginners, forget about all of this. Starting out, your goal should be one account, slowly but surely. Forget about payouts, forget about profit targets, forget about everything. Slowly but surely holding on to one individual account and working towards a small percent gain. You need to have some skill set and some edge to apply, some risk management, before you can size up and put on more risk, right? So off the jump, forget about what we're talking about here, where we're working towards larger payouts and maybe losing some accounts. One account, no losing accounts. That should be your goal. One eval at a time, right? One funded account at a time. Why are you copy trading? Why are you losing accounts if you don't have any proving anything, right? Keep risk extremely low before you raise it up. So that's the way that I would look at it. It's what I wish I did in live accounts or on prop firms first, right? And then from there, you understand some of how this, these rules come into play with prop firms. And as you transition to live accounts, how you have to get more conservative, right? In live accounts, what are you comfortable with overall? So hope this helps, guys. Hope this helps. And again, we're talking a lot about risk to reward here. I'm going to bring it full circle real quick. None of that stuff matters if you don't have two other pieces, right? This is kind of the combination of three. None of that great risk management matters if you have trash psychology and mindset, and after you take one loss, you YOLO the entire account and blow it, okay? None of that risk management and all this work that we do is going to matter if you cannot have discipline on the charts to actually follow your trading and your risk management plan, okay? It will not matter if you blow up on tilt every time you take a win or a loss, right? Or every week you get into some profit and then you continue to blow up, right? If you're at that stage, which so many traders are, focus there first, right? Focus on how you're going to build some damn discipline, how you're going to size down, slow down, set risk parameters, right? Use the tools on Project X. Also, you do need experience. You do need an edge in the markets. You need something that your confidence going to provide a positive expectancy over a large, sample size. you want to start on demo and then with one individual, maybe prop account with the lowest amount of risk that you possibly can, or a live account, or whatever you want to do. But you want to prove some consistency to yourself first before you start to scale up and see where you can push the limits. So you should be trading with the most negligible amount of risk once you come off of demo. That would be the first part, right? If you can't make pennies on the dollar, you're not going to make, thousands on 10,000s or 100,000s, right? You got to start slow. So hope this helps, guys. All right, let's read the chat. We popped to the upside, man. I'm looking here. We didn't even sweep overnight high. This is a key level right here, guys. We got close. I'm looking for a pop to the upside and then a reversion back down. Don't know if we get it. Third time getting funded, no payout. Need to slow down. Nothing worse than starting in a hole on a funded account. Yeah, slow down, brother. Slow down. I've never lost an account that I use that Project X lockout feature. Yeah. Yep. Use the lockout feature, guys. Use the lockout feature. Project X lockout is a blessing to protect your capital and come back next day. Absolutely. Can't believe this is all free 99. Yeah, man, we run it free 99. Listen, guys, you ask questions, I'll come with juice. If you have something that you're working on, I'm happy to try to give you the tools, right? I don't have it all figured out. I'm not the best. I say it all the time. Plenty of mistakes. I know all of these things, and, that's the tough part of trading. Once you know all of it, how you actually put it into practice. But I'll try to give you guys as much juice as I possibly can. Equity trading simulators are free. Understanding risk to reward, win rate, risk per trade, risk per day, having a baseline of these things is like the foundation, right? You got to know that stuff like the back of your hand, what your limits are, so you can trade fearlessly throughout the day, because you're going to hit those limits sometimes. Calculator sim only works if you are consistent with your risk and holding winners. Sure, absolutely, Ideal King. So the deal with that, if you start cutting winners and run your and losers, if you start cutting winners and letting losers run, your risk of ruin skyrockets. Absolutely. So on that trading equity simulator, we're plugging numbers in there. We're plugging in win rate and risk to reward, right? Most traders are not running a fixed win rate and risk to. Most traders are not running a fixed risk to reward. They don't enter with a 2-to-1 on every trade, and they let it run to a fixed take profit or stop loss, right? So number one, your risk to reward is going to vary. You also are not going to ever really have an exact win rate. You're going to have a rough idea unless you are 100% objective and mechanical, and even then you're going to have a rough idea because historical is not going to predict the future. But you're going to have a rough idea of both of those numbers, and you can do that even just without calculating it by looking at your trading, right? How much on average are you making when you win over the last 50 trades, 10 trades, 20 trades, however much data you have? What does that look like? And then what's your win rate? What's your win rate over the last however much data you have? Plug those numbers in. That's your starting point, right? And be conservative with it. So that helps. That could help. But yes, 100%. These numbers aren't exact. These numbers are not exact. Started using lockout settings properly when told Zach. Yeah, guys. Okay, most people have said this. We'll pause here. I have videos on it. I'm not going to go through doing it. I'm not going to mess with everything. In Project X, here, with multiple prop firms, almost every prop firm that you're trading with, you can trade on Project X. And on other platforms. I think Trade-O-Vate has it too, Trade-O-Vate prop. On Project X here, we're able to set a lockout, okay? We're able to set a level. Oh, hey, guys, coming into Red Folder News here. Sorry, getting a little bit distracted. Coming into Red Folder News, everybody be cautious. Got about a couple seconds to this one. Gnarly wick to the downside printing. Getting a little bit distracted, man. You guys are asking good questions. And the market's chopping around, not really hitting a level. I'm happy to talk in between. Crack to the downside on YM. Crack to the downside on ES. Still looking to see if we can't. I would have liked to see a crack to the upside instead of us get closer to this level here. See if we get a pop, and maybe I look to fade it. I don't know, man. We could start to just push off from around here. No real sweep of lows. No liquidity getting taken out down below. No stops getting run. So I don't mind it, but if we come back down here, which it looks like we want to, and we do this, right? I'm not gonna like it for a short. Not gonna like it for a short. In fact, I might like it for a long. But yeah, without going into too much more detail, use the lockout feature. Set a personal daily loss limit. My brothers and sisters in Christ. Dear Lord, please help these traders. I mean this seriously. Set a personal daily loss limit and maybe a personal daily profit target, but definitely a personal daily loss limit, a PDLL. Set it to liquidate and lock you out. If you don't do that and you struggle with tilt and exceeding your preset in your mind personal daily loss limit in any way, you are leaving the entire account on the line every day, okay? You don't have to have an ego. They're giving you the guardrails. They're giving you the bumpers in bowling, right? And there's a lot of money on the line, and you're like, nah, I don't need the bumpers. And then you keep, like, rolling gutter balls. It's crazy to me. It's literally crazy to me. Use the guardrails when you're bowling and there's money on the line, and it doesn't matter if you use them or not, okay? Let your ego go, okay? It's not exactly the same because, like, I think it would have to, the comparison would have to be like sometimes a ball can pop out of the gutter and then hit a strike. But use the guardrails, guys. Use the personal daily loss limit. There's not an argument under the sun, at least nothing that's been presented to me so far, as to why you shouldn't use them. I've heard people say, well, I get close and then it locks me out and I wasn't really done. That's fine. If your max loss limit for the day is $1,000, make it $1,025. Make it $1,100. Make it $1,200. Go a little bit over, whatever it is. You know, if you don't want it to clip you too early, but use it. This is giving you the skill that you haven't developed yet on a silver platter. You'll eventually need to develop it if you're ever going to move to a live account where that stuff doesn't exist. But it can help you. It can help you build the right habits, right? Instead of just continuing to blow up, you hit that PDLL, you hit that daily loss limit, and you come back the next day, you take a win, you're back into profit, now you take a payout, and you go, man, if I didn't have that on, I would have ran that account into the ground and been starting from scratch. But I did, and I was able to come back without digging myself out, of a crazy hole. So use that. I've seen so many more traders taking payouts and making money on Project X using the loss limits than anything else. Anything else. The stats are behind it, too. The stats are behind it. So, hope that helps. And playing a whole news. I have zero desire to tell Zach I lost the account. Yeah, Rhombus won an account and he doesn't want to lose it. Yeah, listen, man, if you lose it, let it be a losing streak, right? Or let it be, again, we're talking about this, just because you set these limits doesn't mean you're going to be profitable. Doesn't mean you're going to make money, right? But at very least, you survive long enough to collect some data and say, this is what's not working. This is what is working. I can adjust a little bit. You stop just burying account after account after account gambling and not collecting any data that you can do any with. At the very worst, you still lose the account. You still lose money. You still, you're going on losing streaks. You're not really creating any positive expectancy. And you need to adjust your entries, your trade management, your risk management, per day, whatever it is. But at very least, you're surviving long enough to start to collect that stuff. So I think that's important. Be helpful. What's up, Daniel? Best way to budget on your prop spending per month? Yeah, 200 to 500 depending on your finance. Yeah, whatever your number is, right? We're talking about, prop firm accounts. The same way that if you back in the day before these retail prop firms existed, right? Most traders, when you come to the table, at least this is what I did, you say, well, I have money. Here's my money. Here's the money that I'm willing to allocate to trading, as a whole. What is my whole number, right? And then from that, what am I comfortable allocating to intraday trading? Maybe higher risk, more aggressive intraday trading. That's my live account, right? With prop firms, it's different. You're buying challenges, you're buying evals, and it can quickly go sideways. You need to have the same mindset. What is my trading capital, right? How much am I allocating to prop firms? What is my big number? And then how much of that do I want to be able to utilize per week and per month? What are my limits, right? Or maybe just per month. What number will I get to where I say, that's enough. No more challenges, no more evals, no more funded accounts, no more instant funded, no more anything. What are my expenses for platforms, for fees, for all of these things together? You should have a rough idea of that, but you should have a hard number the same way that you have a hard number in an account that you're trading, right? What are you comfortable risking total? What's the account size? What's your total risk per day, total risk per month? What are your levels? With props, it's more like a budget, right? Because you're spending, you're buying things. What are you comfortable investing, right? What's your number per month with no payouts and no nothing? Like, how much are you comfortable losing every single month? That's the number you need to have written down somewhere. You should. And then maybe you scale, right? Maybe you start taking some payouts and you say, okay, well, I'm able to utilize this for more accounts or to do something differently. But this is the basics of risk management. Otherwise, you're just shooting from the hip, like completely wild. And it's going to be different for everybody. There's not a fixed number. It's different for everybody based on your experience level, your overall risk tolerance, and your capital, right? How well funded you are. There's going to be traders that come to this game that are coming from, nice large salary jobs. They, own other things. They have plenty of money. They have live accounts and they want to get into day trading, right? Those guys are going to have a whole lot more money to spend maybe than somebody who's really young, coming out of high school and college, getting into trading, working a minimum wage job. And, they've been trading on demo and they start to want to put some risk on the line. That guy's budget might be one eval, maybe $50, right? Per month. He's only going to allow himself like one individual. And if he loses that, he's back to demo. Somebody else might say, yeah, it doesn't make sense for me to have an investment brokerage account that fluctuates $10,000 a day and then be spending, $500 a month on trading, demo accounts to try to work towards payouts, right? So, it's all relative. There's no wrong way to go about it. It's why you shouldn't compare yourself to anybody else. But there is a saying also that's just true no matter what situation you're in, man. It's going to take money to make money. And I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you can scale, you can start slowly, you can build accounts up, right? You can grow your trading capital, but in general, it's going to take money to make money with live accounts, with prop firms, with anything, okay? And the traders that you see posting huge P&Ls, right, in live accounts or with prop firms are not doing that with no amount of money, right? The risk is higher. The losses are relative to those huge, prop firm payouts and profits, right? It's important to note that. Hope this helps, guys. Long yap fest this morning as we're watching the market pop to the upside here. Got to jump to a meeting. Awesome. Yeah, appreciate it. If you blow your prop budget, you demo until next month. Yep. Death by 1,000 cuts with the account. Zach gave no excuse. No crazy crap. Yeah. Zach, bro, please be honest. First off, the good news, you don't have to tell me to be honest, man. I see people say that. Don't lie. Just be honest. I'm like, I don't know, man. I shoot straight from the hip here, so I'm always gonna try to be honest. I think people say it because I'm partnered, I'm affiliated, right? So I stand to make money. I can't be unbiased, but I try to be as honest as I possibly can. If you were to start from the beginning, what account would you go for? Consider you have at least 1 year of trading experience. Okay, if I was starting from the beginning, guys, here's what I would look to do. If I was starting from the beginning, it'd be a little different than if you were starting from the beginning. But anybody starting from the beginning with 1 year of experience, you're still going to lose money. You're still going to lose money when you come off of demo. I don't know anybody that makes it in 1 year. I see these people post and they almost always spectacularly blow up. You're going to be losing money, right? So you're going to be fighting demons and gaining some experience in the markets, building some consistency, starting to work on your edge, work on your risk management. I would be keeping risk as low as possible, right? So demo first for a real short amount of time. And once you are displaying some profitability, some consistency for a short amount of time on demo, you want to come over to risk on. What's the lowest amount of risk that you can put on? Probably a prop firm eval account, or a funded account, an instant funded account, but the smallest one you can get. Why? You're going to lose it. You're probably going to lose it, man. You're probably not going to make it to a payout on that first one. And even a year in, if you're going to work yourself towards a payout, have the risk be stupid small, and then finally work yourself towards that small payout, right? What account specifically depends on you, the good news, right? If it's, if you are in, again, compare them all side by side. Take a look at all the major ones. Obviously, I'm partnered, I'm affiliated, I'm biased for top one. I think there's a fantastic opportunity there, but there might be many reasons, many reasons where it is not the best opportunity for you. You got to look at them all side by side and decide, what the best one for you is going to be. I do think a beginner, somebody that you're describing, is going to do best with the least amount of money on the line. Either an eval account, just because they are so objectively, blatantly cheap, or an instant funded account, but probably the cheapest instant funded account. You're going to just get a feel for cutting your teeth with some risk on the line and probably lose it, right? And I would limit yourself, like Adil said, right? I would limit yourself to not being able to run through them a bunch as you're trying to get, some consistency. One at a time, really slowly, and go from there. That's my honest opinion there. Zach, Fred, and Rich, what's up? Haven't been here in a long time. Wanted to say I appreciate you. Needed to hear some of this. For sure, man. Appreciate you. Hope that helps the good news. For somebody that has very, very little money, the cheapest accounts you can find. Somebody that is coming off of demo and, fairly consistent, that is coming to the, prop firms with a pretty big bankroll. Maybe instant funded, maybe a larger account, one that you start to work yourself with. You're still probably going to lose it, but, it's just not going to be as big of a deal for you. So I hope this helps. 100%. Rema, what's up? Guys Battle, what's your take on daily profit limits? It depends. Most traders need them. Most traders do better with consistency rules, which is not something that I really would have expected starting out. If you are somebody, look at your data. If you are somebody that gets into profit and then gives it all back, or gets into profit and gives too much of it back, or gets into profit and then blows an account, use a personal daily loss limit. If you don't seem to have that problem, if you're not greedy, I don't find myself with this issue. If you don't seem to have a problem trading, into profit, then it's better to keep it uncapped, right? So you can just keep making more money. But I think it's why so many traders do well with these 20% consistency rules, which, is objectively harder. It's another rule that you have to follow. But it limits your upside, and you don't just shoot for the moon. You don't have these big greedy eyes. So, it depends. Look at your data. Starting out, for the most part, yeah. Set a personal daily profit target. Make it a little bit wide. What's good, Dre? What's good? Macro time. Daniel, so true. Appreciate you, man. Man, you're so straight. I just knew you were not AI. Yeah, no AI, man. AI can't have beard like this yet. Wykus, what's up? Love the honesty from Zach. But Fighting Demons is the biggest account. Wykus, did you get the account, man? Did you get the account that you won? I was a combination, but Wykus was a little delayed on getting the account that he won. Let me know if you got that. Fighting Demons is the biggest part. Yep. Best trades come effortlessly, and today's PAs make them difficult to trade. Yep. I'm not touching this yet, guys. You know me. I like to stay patient off the open. I got two areas of interest. If we're just going to chop at VWAP and form this inside bar, I'm not interested. We're not really talking trading, talking exclusively trading, but we're not talking this market because it ain't doing nothing for me. If you hopped on late, I was looking for a short above prior day high into Monday's volume point of control. If we were going to sell off the open, which we didn't, I was looking long below prior day low, but I'm not so sure about that long if we sell off really aggressively here. Not really so sure about that. That would be a pop to the upside, challenge pre-market Asia highs, and then sell off back down through VWAP. I'm not so sure about that. No, bro, not yet. I'm going to follow up. Dang, bro. All right, now it's just on me. I'll make a call actually after I hop off. If anybody else is waiting on anything, please let me know, man. I try to be super quick about it. I try to make sure that they're quick about it. But this one's going to be on me. I must have messed something up and send the wrong email or something. I definitely did. Somebody else probably got a free account. I'm sorry, brother. That's 100% on me. I'll follow up after. My bad, bro. And we're going to have to do something extra special for you then. That's what that means. Ain't nobody going to be caught waiting on my time. Multiple duck races. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Crazy. Sorry about that, though, bro. We'll make sure we get it. Making my note. I give out too many accounts. That's the problem. I don't want to say it, but I honestly think on that one, I probably just fat fingered and sent somebody else's email. Idiot. It happens. It happens when we run duck races. Anyway, if you guys don't want to talk about duck races, we give accounts out on this stream. We may or may not be giving out a Top 1 Futures Ignite instant funded account in a little bit. No purchase necessary. You just have to hang out on the stream, fill out a form, and then we run a duck race. The duck race is just a random number picker. But if you guys want to check out Top 1 Futures, code way too many accounts. Yeah, we're giving out too many accounts. Not enough. More accounts. If you want to check out Top 1 Futures, link is going to be in chat right here. 55% off on the instant funded. 50% off on the Ignite instant funded. These are a little bit tighter to trade, a little bit tougher. What's up, Kick? I missed you guys on Kick. Chrono Ember, L Jess, Kobe Clark. What's going on? What's going on? If you want to check out Top 1 Futures, link is in the chat. Kick, if you guys, we got a couple people on Kick today. If you're not in the 100% free Discord as well, I'll throw it in both of these chats. And X, how we doing on X today? I haven't even looked over. Let's see. 33, you guys on X. What's up, X? How we doing? How we doing, Twitter? You want to check it out? Link is in the chat. I think it's an awesome opportunity, especially for instant funding, which I prefer over the evals. I hate wasting time in evals. I've still been doing it because they do present a different opportunity, right? There's different drawbacks, advantages, and disadvantages to instant funded versus evals. I've been doing it, but it's not fun just trading on demo. Watching this market, man. Watching this market. Not a whole lot out of this. I had somebody ask, what are the payout rules? What are the payout rules on Ignite? Zero cool. Right there. I got a full video breaking down all of the pricing, the rules, all of that fun stuff. The one that's right before or after that on my YouTube is going to be a comparison, putting all three accounts side by side. The Ignite, the Instant Funded, which is my preferred, and the Straight to Sim Funded Pro. The major differences between these three guys, the major differences real quick, are the Ignite is going to be the cheapest account. It's objectively the cheapest. The 50K is $179 for an instant funded. No activations, stupidly cheap. Cheapest in the industry, actually. The rule set on these are tighter, and also the payout cap is tighter. The rule set is, I would say, the second hardest, with the instant being the easiest and the straight to sim funded pro being the hardest. But they are the cheapest, and the payout cap comes into play. But these are end-of-day trailing drawdown, no equity stability score, a 15% consistency, which is objectively tighter, a really modest profit target, the lowest profit target out of all of them, and a nice standard, end-of-day drawdown with a decent max loss limit. The straight-to-sim funded pro are interesting. They're going to be a tough rule set. They have an equity stability score and intraday trailing drawdown. But they're also still cheaper than the Ignite, still cheaper than the instant funded, kind of in the middle. but they have the biggest ability to scale. You're able to copy trade the most of those ones, and if you can handle the tight rule set, which many traders trade with intraday trailing drawdowns, that's probably going to be a good opportunity for you. The instant funded, the standard OG instant funded, are my favorite because they are the highest priced, widest rule set, and in my opinion, most traders are going to do overall, I think, best on those, and at least just from my opinion, it's what I can do best on, so I can only speak from my experience. But those are going to be normal end of day trailing drawdown, again, instant funded, no activation, no fee or anything, no time limit, 20% consistency, standard 20% consistency, that pretty much the industry standard for the best instant funded stuff. Reasonable profit target. You're able to take a decent amount out once you hit that profit target. Reasonable max loss limit, right? Of course, there's a whole bunch of other rules that go into these, but I would watch the video. If you are interested in the Ignite, watch the video on that so you can decide if that's for you or not for you, and watch the video on the side-by-side of 3. And then, right, because I'm partnered, I'm affiliated, I'm biased, I stand to make money from Top 1 Futures, right? So important for me to note that always. Then make sure you go to the site and do your own research, and go to all of the other prop firms, anybody else that you're considering, and put them side by side. I also have videos doing that between the other big instant funded accounts, right? Putting them side by side objectively. But as always, do your own research, make your own decisions, right? There's going to be a best for each individual person, and it's not going to be the same, right? Just like what we talked about. I have no idea where you're at with skill level, with capital allocation, with your trading style, your preferred trading platform, all of the things that are more important to you and less important to you, right? There's different rules. So it's kind of like everything in life. There's going to be a good, better, best for everybody, and that's going to be for you to decide for yourself. You can go side by side objectively the way that I do and say, comparing against the competition, looking at price and rules, which are very, very, very similar on a lot of these, how do we stack up? Top 1 Futures, in my humble opinion, on instant funded, is one of the best in the industry. One of the best in the industry. But you got to decide that for yourself. Nothing out of this market, man. Nothing out of this market. What are the payout? Well, we talked about that. Evals are a good way to forward test new strats. Yeah. The eval thing is interesting. 15% consistency on the Ignite. Yep. Zach, curious question. Have you ever calculated the value of accounts you give away? Like the dollar amount, I mean. If you give away a 50K Ignite account, it'll be $180, something like that. I haven't. I'm just being nosy. I haven't. But it's growing. It's growing quickly. I give away, I've been averaging at least 1, if not more, per day overall. Some days we don't do it. Some days we give out 3. I've also given away quite a bit of just random other stuff in the past. I've sent out, I try not to say it because I get all the scammers and stuff, but sent out additional stuff just personally. But yeah, we've done a lot of giveaways, man. Done a lot of giveaways. That dollar number is growing for sure, but it's not big enough yet, Wolf. Not big enough yet. We're gonna have to keep going with it. I think, I'm a numbers guy. I think hopping on my stream with all but 64 people on YouTube right now, 39 on X, and 9 on Kick. At the rate that I give out accounts and the type of accounts that I give out, the dollar value, I think you have no better place to win any better account than right here on my stream. I say that pretty confidently. I know other traders do a lot more giveaways. They also have a lot more viewers, a lot more in their community. A lot of them also give out, resets and evals and that funded stuff, that fun stuff. But I'm biased, right? I'm biased to hype my own stream up. Yeah, guys. So watching this now, this market sucks for me personally. What are we doing here? Yeah, so, ES pushing to the upside here for the session and the day. Clean retest to VWAP and continuing to push. This might look like a come up here, back above this high, back to all these lows, maybe all the way back up. Could start to get a big drive higher if we're not just faking everybody out to the upside before selling off today. Similar move out of NQ. As you guys know, I don't trade these in correlation, but we can take a look together since I know so many of you don't trade YM. These are cleaner. These are popping to the upside, although it was on that news candle. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was off the open. Yeah, YM just chopping, man. Just chopping. And the more that we do this, the less decisive this is. I really like the initial pop, fade it back, initial dump, fade it back. Once we start to do this, if we start to pick a direction and break out, you know, we oftentimes continue for a bit. So far, still within yesterday's, you know, daily candle, right? Starting to form this bullish without taking out the low. Maybe we go run the high up here, pop to the upside. There could be a trade for you guys if you're looking long on something like this. Stops way down here where you're just dead wrong on direction. But this just really isn't a setup for me. Let's just put it that way. A lot of traders say it's not high probability or low probability. It's not good. It's not a setup for me. I had neither area of interest hit, right? Above prior day high, below prior day low, up near this volume point of control, down here near this high volume node, down below this low. Neither of that hit. Price action, as I start to zoom in, we popped off the open. Tried to sell off, couldn't come through VWAP. We're holding VWAP here now, trying to push to the upside. On another day, what would maybe have gotten me in, like the closest thing would be a long, but it's definitely not in it. It's not in store for me today at all. On another day where in pre-market, maybe we took out these lows, right? We already broke prior day low. We broke our pre-market low is way down here, and then we pulled up to VWAP. You know, we pop at the open, pull back down to VWAP. On that type of structure, oftentimes we don't need to come down any further because we already did. You know, we did business down here in Asia or London. Or forget about creating some stupid narrative around it. We already took out prior day low. Our overnight low is nice. We traded into an area of high volume. We popped to the upside. This presents a really clean invalidation point where, you know, if we come down and take that low out, we're pushing lower. We're probably, you know, breaking to the downside and going to form something bearish, you know, where it's really clean. I'm dead wrong, and I wouldn't mind it long off of VWAP. Up here, without any break of overnight low, right, our pre-market Asia London low or prior day low, it's really not clean to throw an invalidation point down here, in my humble opinion, right, on the way that I trade on YM. Like, is that super clean? No. You know, I would say I think we're going to go up here and test this, but that's not a super clean invalidation. If we chop, I'm dead, and if we just pull back down and take out some stops, it's me, and then we pop to the upside. So I don't like that. On a short play, it's not really setting up great either, man, because we took off from VWAP, popped to the upside, we came back down now, and retested VWAP, traded in this area of high volume quite a bit, and now we're starting to break to the upside. It's not a pop off the open and a reversion now. It's a pop off the open, hold VWAP, push to the upside, and then I fade it for a turnaround. So I don't love the short the longer this happens up here. Don't love the short the longer this happens. The long also gets kind of dicey, but I do like the long better today. So that's my thoughts on this, man. I've been doing fine, or even if I'm not doing fine, whether I'm doing well or not well, I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to force anything in choppy conditions. One of the most frustrating days is this. You start to do this. You get involved here, and you take an L, right? You get stopped, and then you come right back in, and you take it short, right? And then you do one of these. You think it's going to break out to the downside, and then you get stopped again. It's not my style, man. I really don't like to do that. So gonna wait and see, but I'm not really feeling anything too strong on this, guys. Again, it's heavy cumulative volume delta out of ES, continuing to pop to the upside. You know, gun to my head, if I had to take something, I use that phrase lightly and jokingly. I would be long. I'd be long with a stop loss right in here for a move back up to this area of high volume. That's what I think is going to play out here. It's not a clean continuation setup for me, right? And I have to ask myself that. If we did this, am I comfortable? Did I do what I was supposed to do? Is this a really valid trade based on all the stuff that we just discussed down here? Am I okay saying I did what I was supposed to do, but the market just didn't agree with me? No, I didn't, and I wouldn't be happy. So we have from the extreme trade, right? The reversion style trade. Just kind of, if I had to classify it into two things, which is not really great because they're both pretty discretionary. But we got that one off the open. And then the second, or potentially the follow-up, is a continuation trade, right? With price action, with the direction of the trend that's forming for the session, the daily candle, right? A continuation, maybe a breaking out for a higher high, right? Rather than fading that higher high. That would be in store on another day if we took out at very least pre-market low or prior day low, but not today. Not for me, right? So let's see. Let's see what happens here. And, again, something that really helps me, guys, and I don't think you see this out of a lot of traders that stream live, that trade live, because sometimes it's kind of boring, right? There's pressure to trade. We want to put trades on. You guys want to see trades. I want to demonstrate my abilities, all of these reasons. It's kind of boring sometimes when someone's staring at a chart and not trading. This ain't an eval, okay? This is not, copy trading some funded accounts. It's my Top 1 Futures live account. I'm trying to trade as well as I possibly can in it, structure risk well, and that includes not taking dumbass trades. If the market doesn't set up for me, I might as well just flip a coin and throw a random gamble trade on, right? It's not trading. It's not helpful to me. I'll get lucky sometimes. I'll get unlucky sometimes, and I have to be clear about that. I'm not the super scalper either. A lot of traders are going to have 50 trades. Not a lot, but some traders are going to have 50 trades a day. They're going to scalp everything. They're going to be on the 30-second chart. It's not really my style of just always trying to find my way into the market every single day, regardless of what's happening. I think we try to identify patterns that give us a good way to structure risk and maybe present an edge, right? Where we'll win a little bit more when we're right versus what we lose when we're wrong, or we'll win a little bit more often, some combination of those. And to say that that's going to be present on the chart every single day for me at the same time, I think is kind of silly. We know the market doesn't work like that. So, that's the dynamic here, guys. Let's see. What did you say? Last 30 seconds. Let me get rid of. Sorry, guys. Let me try to here. I'll try to turn ads off. Get rid of ads for now on YouTube. I don't know what I said. That was a while ago. Sorry, brother. Chat account. Yeah, I've talked about that. I've talked about that. I talked about making a chat account, doing something, donate it, have fun with it. Yeah. We'll think about it. It gets dicey. I think it gets distracting. Maybe, man. Maybe. We'll get some evals and we'll full port them for you guys. We did it one time. In a funded account, one that I wasn't trading, that I already went crazy. And we ran up a funded account with like back-to-back W's and then gave away a bunch of accounts. It was very fun. What a business model, helping folks and making money. Yeah, man. Mutually beneficial, I hope. Yassine, what's up? ADO took a small loss, shorting to overnight. Hit stop. Done with this PA. Yeah, man, it's choppy. Zach, give the patience of a crocodile. I would have already taken 3 to 4 trades by now. Yeah, man. It's tough. It's tough, right? Like, I don't like not trading. I'm being completely honest. I hate sitting here looking at the chart. I hate ending completely break even, right? I don't enjoy it. I'm a hard worker, or at least I think I am. I'm disciplined in a lot of areas of my life, and I like to apply that. And it's not fun to not make any money or to not even click the buttons, right? But that's not what we're here for. I'm not here for fun, right? I'm here to make money. I'm not here for entertainment. If I wanted to entertainment or, fun, you just go to the casino and you could lose money, right? So you develop it over time. And I think it comes from putting your hand on the stove enough times where I have this day, right? And, you know, maybe this is years ago, and I've already been long and short twice, and I've lost 4 trades. And the smoke clears and your DLL on the day, and you go, dude, there wasn't a clear trade on that chart, not even close to it. And you went DLL, or you took one loss, or whatever it is, and now you have to make that back. Now you've dug that hole, you've took a dumb loss, and you are now going to have to survive the normal losses that you're going to take, and all of those things just add in to create an issue. So it's part of it, man. It's part of trading, at least for me. Not for everybody, but at least for me. Oh, not a casino. Let's see. Talking about how many accounts I gave away. Yeah, we give away a lot of accounts. What's up, everybody? What's going on? Neo, what's happening? Carolina, what's happening? Zach, do you ever trade based on levels, or do you do it in your head? Yeah, man. These are areas of interest, right? Levels, support, resistance, supply and demand. Like what 2 areas did I mention on the chart, guys? Right? If you want me to draw it out for you. That was area of interest number 1. There's area of interest number 2, right? Majority of my trades, I'm going to be waiting for a level, a zone, a rectangle, a support resistance, supply, demand, order block, whatever ridiculous name you want to call an area of interest, a horizontal level on my chart, right? Majority of the time, I'm waiting for an area where I think we are likely to see some kind of a reaction, a decision-making point, and gives me a way to structure risk, right? That's it. No prediction, no predictive powers, but that's what I was looking for into the morning, right? Will I trade outside of these? Sure, absolutely. A million different things can happen on the chart. And a continuation trade, a continuation style trade will often happen outside of my first, areas of interest, first levels. But for the most part, right, I try to do what I can to identify areas on the chart that I want to get involved with, right? And just before we even opened up, within this does not provide me a clean area of interest, a good way to structure risk. It doesn't provide me a lot of direction, right? So that's the levels. But I don't love to put them on my chart because I'm still discretionary, right? I don't like to say I'm looking short at 47,500, right? Because, well, maybe we blast through 47,500 on a Trump candle, right? Or maybe we create continual lower highs and we just trend extremely slow up through that level. And I don't want to get short on for multiple different reasons. So, it's just not as clean cut as that. And I don't pretend to have it be that clean cut. So hope that helps. What you're doing is right, Zach. I'd rather watch a patient creator any day. Yeah, man. There's plenty of the other streams, and there's nothing wrong with them. It's their 30-second chart, more like the 15-second chart. Yeah, man. Listen, it's fun. It's entertaining to watch, people go crazy. But let's see. A charity account would be fun if you handed it. Yeah, Rhombus. The chat account could be fun. The chat account could be fun. I haven't done it for a couple of reasons. But yeah, we'll think about it. There's times of the day, there's times of the trading session like this where we have good conversation today. You guys ask great questions, and I hope we had some good conversation. There's times of the day where this happens, or days of the week or month where this happens, and I hope maybe just displaying patience can help you guys also be like, hey, look, you're not supposed to just take 47 trades every day at the same time and hope you come out green. You're actually supposed to wait for something to present itself on the chart that you're not just making up reasons in your head. You have some consistency. But it's always fun to just YOLO dumb stuff. I don't know. I debate doing that with you guys. Valid crash out, same here. What kind of generosity is that? Do it better, man. Unnecessary losses. Yep. Unnecessary losses. I've made $9,681 in my practice account. Just learning the patience. Yeah, man. That's awesome. Talking about evals and funded. I hadn't thought about it today. I haven't lost the funded age. Nice. Evals not so much. Nice. Thank you for helping me sit on my hands today. There we go. Yeah, man. It's not fun, man, but sometimes the market just chops. Just really doesn't do too much. And to Daniel's point, who said unnecessary losses, there's good wins and good losses and bad wins and bad losses, right? There's good and bad for each. If you're doing anything outside of your trading system that you do consistently, right, it's going to be a bad win or a bad loss. If you're oversizing, over leveraging, trading for revenge, and you come back, you're green, it's arguably worse than just blowing the account, because now you've demonstrated a really bad thing has worked out positively. But there's also bad losses, right? If I just started taking trades in here, I took unnecessary L's today. And I know I need to have capital for good losses, right? Because there's going to be days where I wait patiently. I take this trade like I took yesterday, right? I get in right here, and we don't come back down. I don't take a win. We just blast through, right? But I say good loss. I'm not happy about it. I don't want to take losses. I'd like to make them as infrequent and small as I possibly can, but good loss. If I take 47 bad losses in here, I can't survive the good losses on the way to the good wins, So the P&L doesn't care. It doesn't know the difference between a win or a loss, right? It just is going to calculate either you losing money or making money. So a lot of traders need to focus on not winning more and maximizing their winning trades, but losing less by taking less dumbass trades, for lack of a better term. The boredom, random gamble, right? I'm not saying that prop firms don't present us with an interesting dynamic where, if you're trading multiple accounts and you only have so long to trade, you really want to try to find your way into a lot of different trades and put risk on. I get that. Structure a trading approach for that. Have a scalping approach. Try to get profitable doing that if that's what you want to do. But for the most part, for most traders, not everybody, there's going to be days or at least sessions where nothing sets up for you. And anything you put on, whether you win or lose, is a dumbass bad trade, right? Regardless of the outcome. And if you can recognize that, you can keep yourself from doing that, or at least try to keep yourself from doing that. It's one of the hardest things for me. I talk about what I struggle with and don't struggle with. I definitely struggled with that. I was never able to do this. I was not able to do this in the past. Every single day I traded. Every single session I traded. Could not be on the charts for more than when I first started out. 10 minutes max. If I was staring at a chart, I'm predicting which way it's going next, and I'm watching the market move, and I'm anxious, and I want to make money, and I'm in a trade right away. And then I look back and I go, what the hell, dude? Why do you think because you're looking at the chart that your setup is there in 10 minutes time? It's not how this shit works. It's just not how it works. Again, in general, there's super scalpers, there's hyper scalpers. They're on the 15-second chart. They're doing their thing, whatever. It can be done, I'm sure. But for most, you gotta keep yourself patient and at least lay out what you're looking for when you sit down on the charts. Right? What are you looking for? What does your edge look like? What does risk management look like for you today based on that unique market structure, price action, tools, volume, whatever you're using, 1,000 indicators, ICT, I don't like whatever it is. Wait for that to happen. Wait for the market to come to you and then execute, right? And then manage your trade. If it doesn't happen, if the market chops in a 2-point range and you're in the range trading that, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? You're just gambling. There's not even a case to be made that you could have consistency doing that. So, anyway, hope that helps. There's some that are very discretionary, very, very, very high frequency. I've tried a lot of different stuff, guys. I don't have a lot of success with that. Don't have a ton of success with just wildly high frequency scalping the 5-second chart. Guys, 10:45 a.m. We've been hanging out. Great conversation. Been yapping all morning because you guys asked some good questions. We're going to make this one quick. Here's what we're going to do. Giveaway at 100 likes. Soon as you guys hit 100, and yeah, we're going for 100 today. We got 260 people that have hopped on and off the YouTube stream. We got 68 of you on right now. As soon as we hit 100, we're running the giveaway. I'm going to give you guys like 3 minutes to get it filled out, and we're going to run the duck race hella quick today. Giveaway at 100 likes. And I'm going to set a time limit with you guys here. I only got about another 45-ish minutes on the stream. So if we don't hit it in 45 minutes, it's going to be tomorrow. But go ahead, run the like count up. I'm going to get this form ready. I think if everybody on here smash the like button right now, we would get the giveaway. But we're giving out accounts on these live streams almost every day. We're growing. You guys are awesome. We're going to go for the big number today. We're going to go for 100. Again, we got a little bit of time, guys. About 11:30. Almost an hour to go. I'd like to trade. I'd like to find something, and I'm going to try to stay patient, but also not just completely fall asleep, right? And miss an opportunity that may or may not come. There we go. Sort of what I did. Hit the like button. There you go. Yeah, guys. Smash the like button. Oh, yeah. 90 likes right off the bat. It's going to drop right away. You guys are waiting for it. I knew it. I will start to follow down because sometimes you are saying things. I'm not looking at my ES chart. Well, I started long ago with crude oil, moved to ES, now NQ, back to ES. He might be trying to... time to try something new. Gold is a big no-no for me, but YM doesn't look as wild as gold in NQ. Yeah, it just comes down to preference, right? Talking about different indices. These are all good conversation topics, guys. I appreciate you. You're giving me a lot of juice. Sometimes it's just it's quiet. You guys are quiet and you're not giving me anything to talk about. Comes down to preference. They all move slightly differently. They all form different structure and price action. They have different volatility and volume. Comes down to finding what works best for you and your style. But I think you guys are going to hit this really quickly, so I'm going to get ready to drop this form. I will be right back, chat. What the heck happened to YouTube over here? I have to pull up the YouTube chat. What's going on, guys? What's going on? YouTube died. Hopefully we're still live. Fixing to find out. Fixing to find out, as they say in the South. Let's see what happened here. Yeah, we're still good. We're still good. Back to VWAP on this, guys. Again, we've been talking a lot about just trading in general, risk management. We went through a lot today, which I think were all good questions and good conversations, man. Coming back through VWAP on this, I'm not too interested in this at all, guys. I'm really not. As we come lower and sell off into this low, maybe we're just gonna kind of chop a little bit, come down here, sweep this, put a low in. But if we erase this move to the upside in these US indices and we start to fill out down, we break this initial balance low, it's a really aggressive reversion play that I just don't know, man. Just really don't know about that. ES and NQ looking very strong, forming very different daily candles than YM over here. I still think we got a chance to pop to the upside on YM and follow these two. Again, not that I trade them in correlation, but just framing some ideas for the day. I'm not looking to jump in long and try to run this thing to the highs. I don't really have too much on this. Don't really have too much on this at all. Which is never fun, but I'm okay with. I'm okay with. Like I said, gun to my head long, but look how that would have played out, right? Do I think a stop loss level in here is a good spot? No, man. We could just chop back and forth in here and not do anything all day. We're through news. There's not much else coming up. We got larger news coming later this week. I think we might just chop. All right, let's see. We said giveaway at 100 likes. Where are we at? 111. Yeah, you guys blew it out of the water. All right, let's go, guys. Giveaway form is live in the chat on YouTube, Kick, and we will give it to you guys on X as well. What the heck? What the heck? There you go, X. You guys got it on the in the live chat as well. All right, guys. No purchase necessary. Get this form filled out. Don't fill it out more than one time. Don't use anybody else's email. Please. Just don't do that, man. Don't give me the extra work. Don't get yourself banned from my streams and all of my giveaways. And for trying to get over on giveaways and using multiple. I literally watched it happen in the Top 1 Futures Discord, where somebody was using multiple emails and they got all of their accounts taken away from them. They got banned from the firm, as do all other firms, right? Don't do that, right? I've done dumb stuff in the past. That's a dumb move. Don't do that. But giveaway form is live in the chat. Go ahead, get this one filled out. You can fill it out. You can not fill it out. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to give you guys like a couple minutes here. Let's go. Thanks for accepting my CV on. I don't know what that means, brother. I don't know what that means. Caught a buy today on NQ. Nice. Very nice. Zach, my form crashed when sending it, so you might get it twice. No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. You know, again, guys, it's pretty obvious. I got to say the same stuff. So many of you are here every day, but we have more and more people like new on the stream every day, so I got to repeat it. But yeah, if you fill it out twice on accident, it's okay. If you're a regular and I see two, you know, of the same things, it's the people that spam it, and I got plenty of them. There's one who just relentlessly keeps coming back. I don't know. We'll see. Once every other week, I see the same person with all the same emails and names and 47 different things pull up, and it's crazy. But all right, guys, we'll give you about 5 minutes to get this filled out. About 5 minutes. Go ahead. We will run the ducks. Zach accepts CVs. I don't know what a CV is. Am I an idiot? I don't know what a CV is, and I don't know that I accepted anything on Discord, so be careful if it wasn't me. Bunch of nice charts in the chat. Dre throwing up a bunch of charts. Yeah, if you guys are not in the free Discord, it's pinned to the chat. You're sleeping. Dre catching a banger. Beautiful. Nice long on MNQ. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. And he held it to oblivion. Very nice. YM looking for a triangle breakout on the hourly. Getting close to, yeah, high value area. Very nice. Some nice chart markup. Very nice. Very nice. Kaz trades. Rhombus. Very nice. Looking, looks like you're looking to short MES, I'm guessing. If we pop to the upside. Cool. Very cool. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no worries. Guys, look at YM trade the opposite on NQ. Nice. YM the best indicator for NQ, doing the opposite. Yeah. I mean, is this? Here's what we got today, guys. That's our range right here. Like I don't know, man. I mean, we didn't even tap here. Yeah, like a sweep of this high for a move back in. Maybe your pre-market Asia high. You just wanted that for a move back in. Not a lot for me, guys. It's really not a lot for me. So we'll run some duck races. We'll have some fun. All right, guys. Let's get ready to run it. Let's get ready to run it. Let me make sure we got... everybody lined up. Let's see. Chatty chat. Nice. I see we got all the OGs in here today. Everybody's on today. What's up, guys? What's going on, chat? All right, guys. Last ditch effort. Get the form filled out. Give you guys another 60 seconds, and then we'll close it out. Get the ducks ready right now. All right, giveaway form is closed. We have our ducks in a row. Yeah, man, this is It's choppy, guys. It's choppy. I'm sure somebody's making money today, but it ain't me. But also not losing it, so I can be happy with that. All right, guys. Since we sat through a super duper choppy market, and since I feel like it, because that's really the only thing that matters here on the live stream, we have we got a bunch of ducks in a row. Make sure you're talking to the person. Yeah, okay. Now I know. Okay, I'm an idiot. Is a CV a resume? Now I know what I'm talking about. Alan, great point that you've made, and now I know what I'm talking about. Sorry, guys. You can see how slow I am to the punch, and that I didn't know a CV was a resume. This gentleman was actually talking to me and was trying to get a hold of Top 1 Futures and sent over something that he asked me to try to get in front of them. But to Alan's point, this is extremely important, guys. I will never DM you first on Discord. I will never friend request you first on Discord. I don't even accept friend requests on Discord. I don't have anything paid. I don't handle hiring at Top 1 Futures. I don't take resumes from people. Most of anything that you're going to get on Discord individually is an impersonator. Almost every DM that you get from me or anywhere else is going to be a scam or an impersonation. So talk to me in the main chat. If you got to talk to me, make sure it's me. If you got to DM me something, do it from the main chat by clicking on my name. I don't have a course. I don't have a VIP. I don't have an offer for you to work for me or anything like that. I don't want any help scaling my brand. Just, you know, that's the important note. But sorry, guys. Now I know who we're talking about. Yeah, now I know who we're talking about. Yeah. All right. Ducks in a row, guys. Outside of that, this is for, sorry. This is for an Ignite 50K instant funded account. Best of luck, everybody. Let's run it. But yeah, man, be cautious. Don't fall for scams. Don't fall for schemes. I'm never going to ask you for money. I don't know. I want to do anything with crypto. None of that stuff, man. None of that stuff. I'm free 99 every day here talking on the live stream and putting out content and making videos and answering everybody's questions in Discord. What the heck secret, you know, crypto 500,000% returns for $100 a month am I going to have where I need your ID or some weird thing? They're so weird. People send me them, right? So I see all the scams. It's almost always like something with crypto and some money management craziness. No, dude, I'm not. We're not doing that here, guys. We're not doing that. Don't be silly. All right. Minute to go. Yeah, I'm going to wait a little bit. Minute to go. Let's see. Tight pack up front. And you're in here, man. God's Battle looking close up front there. Lone Wolf down on the bottom. BT Art. Justin. Ross 5 and 2. Multi. I don't know. Alex. FP. Mark 4-footed. Spider. Parish. Pally. Glenn B. Wykus was close. He's dropping back. It's okay. He still has a count coming to him. That has been delayed on my part. Apologies again, Wykus. Muhammad looking strong. Cook Smith down the bottom. Purple Ninja Facts down the bottom. Kim Z. Idar, Ruben. I don't know. Glenn B and Mark 4-footed out front. Relaxing Zen making a run for it. Oh, we got stop losses getting hit. OS holding strong up top. Lone Wolf down on the bottom. Leventi with the backwards hat. I don't know, guys. Where's the breakout duck? Who is this down on the bottom? The Spider-Man duck. Oh, someone in the middle looking hella strong. I can't see who it is. Oh, there was somebody running up here for it. Ms. Venture Trading with the W. Ms. Venture Trading. Swim. On the front. Yeah, you were in the front. Let's see who we got here. Let's see what we got here. Ms. Venture Trading, what's up? Say what's up if you're on YouTube or Kick or wherever you're at. You're legit. I could see the name. I could see all the email and everything. I'm not worried about this one. There you are. Oh, we got the win right there. Oh my gosh, it's me. You are the winner of a 50K Ignite instant funded account. Everybody, W's in the chat. Throw W's in the chat for Ms. Venture Trading. Got the win. This account will come straight from Top 1 Futures, hopefully with less delay than I've had with one specific person that I found on the stream today. Hella W's in the chat. Oh, I love it, man. Hella W's in the chat. Yeah, no W for me today on the trade. A whole bunch of nothing. Oh, we got the spam chat going. Go ahead, spam it, guys. I'll take the video, right? And we'll be like, I'll be the classic Furu. Be like, oh, look at all the W's, guys. Look at all the W's. And then I'll come over, and it'll be like a trading view chart. I'll be like, we just caught this crazy banger, guys. Look, we bottom ticked it, and we had 5,000 lots on. It was crazy. 10-to-1 risk to reward. Make sure you buy my course and give me crypto. No, I'm just kidding. W's in the chat. Congrats. We're still quacking. Congrats, Miss Venture Trading. You are the winner of an Ignite 50K account from Top 1 Futures. If you want to check this out, guys, if you didn't win today, feel free to hop on tomorrow. We're going to run these almost every dang day. But if you want to check out Top 1 Futures, there is the link in the chat. Code RDF gets it done. These are done this week. End of this week, I believe. End of this week. They said they were supposed to be done last week. They've extended a week. I'm very confident to say that these are done, as they will come off the site again like they did last time. The end of this week. I don't know if that means end of day on like Friday or into Sunday or Monday. I'll clarify in Discord. But if you want a chance to get your hands on the Ignite accounts, you want a copy trade, you want a really cheap account, these are going to be off the site coming up, and the 50% will be gone. But not just the deal. If you want the best deal on instant funded accounts, 55% off with code RDF. The instant funded accounts, let me get that graphic. They are my preferred accounts. The best rule set. Oh, that's the same one. They're close looking. There we go. Best rule set, right? A little bit more expensive, but higher payout cap. Ability to copy trade between 3 and 5, depending on what size you go with. Nice end of day trail and drawdown, standard 20%. I think these are badass. But check it out. Top 1 Futures, in my humble opinion, one of the best opportunities in the instant funded future space. Been here for over 6 months now. 16 million paid out. Pretty solid, man. Some growing pains up front. For sure. Some stuff that I wasn't super stoked on, but have come out the other side of that from what I've seen. Payout speeds rolling super duper fast. I've been getting paid same day on the last 2 that I've requested this week and last week. So no complaints there. Appreciate you guys hopping on as always. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. We did not take a 10-to-1 trade, and you do not have to buy my course with crypto or some weird thing that everybody's trying to sell. No trade for me today, and I'm happy with that. Nothing in here would have been super exciting outside of catching a top or a bottom, maybe, and picking up, 200 points. But no setup for me today, guys. No crazy gambling. Good to see what sets up for the latter part of today. Maybe get some more aggressive trading in, or attempt to, in the sim-funded accounts that I'm working on, the side quest stuff. But it'd have to be really clean for this one. And honestly, today, I'm tempted to just lock it up in this account. I'm tempted to just request a payout early and lock myself out from trading on this one, because if we sell off now, we pump to the upside now, it's just not as clean. So I'm probably going to do that. I'm probably just going to exercise that patience today and pay myself, or just lock it up and trade something else if I have to trade anything at all, right? In lower probability or just less ideal conditions for me. Lower probability, I think, is not a good way to talk about it. Anyway, guys, hope this helps. Good game, Zach. Yeah. No Lamborghinis today. Adios to all. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you guys. I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you here 9:15 a.m. Eastern. I'll see you in Discord. Pinned to the top of this chat is the 100% free trading Discord. Be more than happy to have you guys in there. Talk to y'all soon.